Alright guys, the stream is starting. Hopefully it goes okay. We're starting it up right now. I tried using a little new little thing they have on YouTube where you can schedule a stream ahead of time. And hopefully that will work okay. We're trying it out first time, never really used it before, so we're seeing how this works. Hopefully it works well. I'm hoping it works well. So we're going to see how it works. Getting a little bit buffering here, and well, hopefully it goes pretty decent. Never tried using it, so it's something new for me, so we're giving it a shot. Hopefully people in the stream can hear it okay. We do have a delay, because there's always going to be a delay when you do this. Thank you, Vincent, for coming into the stream tonight, my friend. Again, these are all random. I don't set these out any type of normal procedure. I used to do that. I used to do them every Monday. And when I stream, I tried doing it on Mondays as well. I wanted to give everyone who came into the stream tonight. Last stream we did a few weeks ago, no one showed up, and that was fine by me. That was the Emerald City Comic Con. Notice that it was quote unquote postponed until the summer, or was it? And that was to talk about where they did ECC's virtual convention. It's a new thing that Funko rolled out to see how it would work, and they're doing it again for WonderCon, which is another big show coming up in a few weeks. A very similar thing they're doing that they did for ECC, they're doing for this one. We'll talk about COVID-19, which, of course, if you don't know, is the classification for coronavirus. We'll talk about that near the end of the stream. I don't want to talk about it right now. I don't want to kind of put anybody's spirits down. I want to make everybody happy. I want to entertain. It's what I try doing. Sometimes I do well. Sometimes I don't do so well. But let's talk a little bit what's going on with me. Some of the stuff we picked up on some toy hunts and things like that. First thing is first, we pulled the winner for my one of two giveaways beginning of this year for 2020. I picked these two items up. That giveaway number one was picked up at Go Toys. It's a think of it your normal mom, not really mom pop. It's a small little business like a pop-up store that usually appears in most local malls. However, they have an actual freestanding store, brick and mortar store, in some larger malls. It is called Go Toys, and I think Go Toys and Calendars, I think it's called. But we picked up two items there. The second one I haven't did a giveaway yet for. The first one was won by, I think the guy's name was Brandon M, I believe his name is. I could be wrong on the winner, so I do apologize. He did claim his prize. It'll be going out to him shortly. The item in question, of course, was the Go Toys exclusive Date Mike Funko. I paid full price for this. This was not sponsored by anybody. So this came out of my pocket. It was at that time it was $15 because they had a discount going 50% off of everything in the store, except for Legos or anything marked with that particular sticker. So that unfortunately was full price out of my pocket. Another item was picked up, which will be done as another giveaway at a later date. So we're talking about Emerald City Comic Con. That's one thing we'll talk about momentarily. So another item I just want to touch base on. I did a review for it. I want to say a few days ago. I want to say it was last Tuesday. We're having a little bit of lag, so I do apologize about that. And that was the Hot Topic variant Insidium statue, 1/10 scale, Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast statue. Very, very cool statue. If not yet watched that video, take a look at it after the stream. After this thing goes on video on demand, if you want to go back and watch it again. It's a pretty cool statue. Price point was $89.99. This is, of course, the variant statue. What you're looking at here is what it normally looks like. The statue that I got from Hot Topic doesn't look like that, and I'll showcase it off in a second here. It is a pretty cool statue. It's a 1/10 scale. Pretty neat statue, fully painted, very limited assembly you need. You just simply plug it into 2 points in the bottom of the base and you're done. So the statue itself is right here. And a lot of people were having problems with their statue. Not necessarily this variant, but the normal Union Jack version. The flag was broken in a lot of people's statues. There is a variant with this because not only is the flag here not Union Jack, it's the American flag with a hole burnt through the center of it. His pants are this bluish color compared to the blue jeans he has in that one. And he has the Union Jack flag for the normal one. And the jacket itself is a red jacket. So you can see that momentarily. I'll hold it up again so you can see it. If you look at the jacket, it's this red jacket right there compared to the one that you just saw. Now this is comes from the Legacy of the Beast line. This is wave number 1. And they're going to be making more of these statues based on the video game or the mobile game Legacy of the Beast. It is a fully painted statue. It plugs into this foot and into this foot right here. And it's basically a cannon, and this sort of diorama piece has been blown apart. You see kind of cannonballs laying down, a busted up cannon. You see a hand clawing out of the ground. It's a very, very cool statue. Again, pretty much there's no real assembly required except for just plugging it into the base. It's basically plug and play, and you're ready to display it. I've had it on my shelf for a few days now, and it looks very, very good. And it sits right next to my Iron Maiden pops, and I have a hardcover book for Iron Maiden. All in my cabinet, my entertainment center, one of my shelves is dedicated to Iron Maiden. This is one of the statues that's now sitting there. So it's a very, very, very cool piece. I do like it. It's very, very neat. Is it worth the money of $89? That's up to debate. I'm not 100% sure if it's worth the cost, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool statue. I do like it. It's a really, really neat piece. We had one person in there. Hopefully, there'll be more people coming in later. This is only going to be a 30-minute stream, guys, so I'll let you guys know now. It's not going to go past 30 minutes. Moving on. Emerald City Comic Con. I was mentioning that before we go into COVID-19. And to make sure you guys are doing okay. That's another reason why I wanted to put the stream together. Emerald City Comic Con released all of their items that were shared items. Ones at certain locations would have gotten them. Your Barnes & Nobles, your Hot Topics, your Targets, your Books of Millions. Any stores like that that had a exclusive pop would have gotten those pops by now. And I decided to pick up a few pieces. Myself personally, I have two pieces. One I'll showcase in a second. The other one I ordered through a third-party reseller. It is the Gambit Walgreens exclusive, which I could have gotten the Walgreens version of it, but I wanted the Emerald City Comic Con sticker. And it sold for a little bit more money. It was about $30 with shipping, but I'm getting that in a few weeks. That's with the Emerald City Comic Con sticker, and I'm going to circle back to that momentarily. The other item I picked up is sort of near and dear to me, mainly because I used to play D&D back in the day. 3rd edition, 3.5. Didn't play any 4th edition, really. Played some 5th edition. And probably one of the more intricate creatures in D&D is a creature you usually don't know you're fighting until you're literally inside it. And that, of course, is the gelatinous cube. This is a much larger box. If you look how big and square this box is, this is a much heavier pop. And what makes this one very, very unique, let's take a real quick look at it. I'm going to do a full video about this guy, mainly because it kind of makes me smile. Because I remember playing D&D with my buddies years ago, and one of the creatures that's very, very fun to fight with, of course, is the gelatinous cube. And it's a very, very neat creature because, as I mentioned, you don't know you're fighting it until you're inside of it. That's sort of the gimmick with it, because it's usually translucent or invisible. So you'll walk right inside a gelatinous cube without knowing you're inside a gelatinous cube. And they're not normally this greenish color, at least from what I remember in the game. Because it would be very, very, you see this transparent, it's clear. Again, we're getting a little bit of latency. I do apologize for that. Stream's a little bit jittery right now, so it's gonna taper up and fix itself shortly. But it's kind of neat because I think they took sort of liberty from a lot of the Monster Manual stuff, with usually a skeleton inside of it and some weaponry. You may or may not notice there's a sword right here. I'll kind of transit around so you can see it. There's a sword sticking there, and there's a sort of partially destroyed shield, and of course a skeleton. It's mounted. The head is mounted on two plug points. You can see the points right here in this. It's sort of display. It's on display stand, so to speak, by two kind of clear posts in the middle of the figure. You can see it right there. It's a good shot of it. And I said I have to pick this up. And the reason why is because of nostalgia. I remember playing D&D years and years ago, and again, it's a big cube. That's really what it is. And that's how it usually moves around. It's form of locomotion. It would sort of slither like let's say like a snail. That's sort of the gimmick it would normally do when it would move around. It would move around sort of like a snail would move around. That's sort of the gimmick as far as his locomotion, his mood or his method of transport or movement. That's what it normally does. So we'll put that aside right now. I went to a couple stores because my girl is selling some items on eBay. It's not a plug. If you want to buy some of the stuff, you're more than welcome to. I think her handle was Single Mom, but she had that years ago. And either Single Mom or Single Cat Mom, one of the two. I think it's Single Cat Mom. And we put some items up on eBay, and I want to showcase those items off. We picked them up, we're selling them on eBay. If I can't sell them, I'm probably going to return them to the store and get money back. Is see if I can, flip these items. Normally, I don't sell it for scalper prices. I don't go way, way high. I stay within the kind of range what people are selling them for. And there's an item which I mentioned about the Emerald City Comic Con, why I wanted that Gambit one so badly. One of these items has that sticker. What could it be? What could it be? We'll talk about that momentarily. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. Mic's a little closer. I'm trying to speak a little louder so you can hear it. First item we'll talk about is some of the stuff at FYE. Actually, we'll talk about not FYE. We'll talk about Hot Topic. We picked up 3 perfect cells. These are, if you notice here, they are the Funko convention exclusive sticker, limited edition. This is the glow in the dark version of Cell. We have 3 of those for up for sale. I'm not trying to plug the sale, nothing along those lines. Then we picked up now we'll talk actually we'll talk GameStop. I picked up one of these, which is part of a 2-pack. We're selling the Slime Pit He-Man. Again, the convention exclusive sticker. Now, mind you, if you see a sticker like this, that means it's a shared exclusive sticker. That means it's not the convention, quote unquote, convention version of that pop. It's identical. If you said what's the difference between this one and a convention one, the only difference is the sticker. That's it. There's no variant, there's no change for it. It's the same packaging, identical, except the sticker. Collectors will spend more money for that sticker because it means you would have waited in line or gotten to the Funko Lotto to be going into their booth to get the convention version of this same identical pop. Take that with a grain of salt because I'm going to break that rule momentarily. Then we went to FYE. And FYE went to a local mall, one of the bigger malls down in Boca Raton, Florida. We picked up the Chrome Piccolo, which is probably one of the harder ones to get. And again, the convention sticker right there. We picked up, I only have one of this guy. They only had one of them, and this is a GameStop exclusive. This is an FYE exclusive. Now, if you notice here, it has the convention sticker. However, we noticed, surprisingly, we picked up 5 Triclopses. If you look at the sticker, that is the Emerald City Comic Con convention sticker. It's not the same sticker as the shared exclusive sticker. That means, whoops, they sent the convention pops to FYE for Triclops. I don't know if all FYEs got the Triclops, but we have 5 of these. We have 3. We have one of them selling like this. And this is not a plug for the sale, but we have one selling like this. I think for $59 we're selling this, which is very comparative pricing for especially this guy, because you can't find this guy except for FYE or through the convention itself, especially with that sticker. That's the money right there. So we're selling that as one of these is a 2-pack, and we're selling 5 of these individually by itself. I think for $30, I think we're selling these guys for. Which is very, again, comparable pricing to what people are normally paying for that. The normal, I think that if it was a normal version, it'd probably be $20, $25. I think we're spending an extra $5 for that. So if you want those, I think her handle, I think it was Single Cat Mom, I believe that she had it listed as. And she had a YouTube account years and years ago. So if you see it, you want that, you're more than welcome to. So that was the big thing for ECC. And it was very, very surprising finding this with that sticker. I didn't notice it until I went down and looked at all the Triclopses, and they all had the convention exclusive sticker, and not, of course, that sticker, which is a shared exclusive sticker. Very, very surprising that all of them had this. Now, if you're going to ask me, Rook, does the head spin this way? I don't know. I've not unboxed this. Since these are going to be sold or returned, I'm going to try to keep them as mint as I possibly can and not open these guys up. So, that being said, that's all the fun stuff out of the way. Let's talk about what you guys probably were going to come in for this stream for. All my plugging out the way, and I wasn't here to plug this stuff, but it was to talk COVID-19, or otherwise known, aka the coronavirus. It's been running rampant through everywhere now, and if you're probably impacted by it as we speak. Everyone's pretty much going into almost like a 14-day lockdown. But it's affecting everybody in the U.S. A lot of businesses, a lot of the big businesses are still open. I know Targets are still open. I believe Walmart's are still open. Limited hours, like an 11 to 6 sort of deal. maybe 11/7. Maybe your Publix is or your local grocery stores are still open. I don't know if CVS's are still open. I don't know if Walgreens are still open or not. But it's affecting everybody, and it even affected me. I don't have it, thankfully. Unfortunately, I'll kind of move over a little bit so you can see. I'll get out of the shot. Unfortunately, I had to bring my my work office home with me. So I'm working from home now, unfortunately. That's the idea. Again, I apologize for any latency we're having here. Keep getting hit by little bits of latency. So I do apologize for that. The stream should fix momentarily. So I do apologize for that. There's little bit of buffering we're getting. It is a little bit of rockiness, especially when everybody's home right now. So it doesn't help my internet connection in any stretch of the imagination. So I do apologize for that. Um, but it is what it is. Can't control it. It is what's happening. If you do watch this on video on demand, thank you for tuning into it. If you're watching it live, again, like Vincent Tobias, thank you for coming into the stream tonight. Again, you might have seen the last few episodes of SmackDown and Raw with a way only exclusive personnel can work those events. So it is unfortunate. Fix shortly. We had about a 10% drop in frames tonight. So again, apologies for any latency that's been hitting the stream. Can't really control that. I do apologize again for that. Um, Again, this is just to make sure you guys are doing okay. They're trying to make sure all the new cases are contained. They're trying to kind of, in a way, burn the virus out, making sure people stay away from one another and make no new cases happen. That way they can burn this virus completely out. As far as the recording of this stream, I think either yesterday or today, there were no new cases of the virus reported in China, which is important because that's where the virus broke out from. So it looks like they're containing it there, and it looks like it's slowly burning itself down, and they're pushing the curve even further down. That's the idea of containing this coronavirus and making sure it doesn't even, it already has an outbreak, it's already a global pandemic. It feels like we're playing the pandemic game. It's sort of what it feels like, so to speak. Pandemic in real life. But I hope everybody is healthy and safe. If you're still in the chat, Vincent, I hope you are doing well and not sick yourself. I know a lot of people through social media have been contacting other people that they do have it. Idris Elba, one actor, Tom Hanks, has coronavirus. So even they canceled NBA, they canceled the XFL. Those seasons have been canceled because of coronavirus. Even athletes can get this stuff. You're not bulletproof or immune to it. You're not invulnerable to this disease. Again, I don't have it as far as I know. I've always had this lingering cough, and it has not gone away in months. It has nothing to do with coronavirus. I just have a lingering cough. I'm curious on how long this is going to last. Schools are talking about being closed for the rest of the school year. My local theaters are closed, temporarily moved. Yep, I'll talk about that now, Vincent. My fiance has her son, who is 18, and he's a senior graduating this year. His school was closed, and it's been closed up to, at least for him, April 15th of this year. They postponed, I think they've even canceled prom, they canceled grad night, I think they canceled his graduation as well. If you're going through school, I'm assuming you're feeling this same sort of thing happening to you. It's unfortunate. It's not right. It's wrong to basically, especially someone who's a senior, to go through this as well. It's bad at this time. As far as Emerald City Comic Con goes, I know that got postponed and rescheduled and pushed back. One con that, as far as I know, has not been rescheduled, which is very surprising, because Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, and any big high traffic areas like that have been closed, and they're closing until the end of the month. A big convention in Florida, in Orlando, is called MegaCon. It's probably one of the biggest conventions in Florida. I would say it probably garners probably between 80,000 and 100,000 people over the span of a weekend. And that convention right now, as far as recording of this stream, is still excuse me, is still happening. They have not yet stopped that convention. I think they're I don't know if they're breaking the law, quote unquote, unless they make it mandatory that no events like this can happen. I think they're doing it as a recommendation to not to do this. Parks are doing that for safety reasons and probably for liability if someone gets sick there. That's the reason probably why they're doing it. But as far as it lasting, I've heard speculations between 2 and 4 weeks. That's what I've heard. Don't take my word. I'm nowhere near a scientist. I don't work for Trump's cabinet. He, of course, has no clue what he's talking about anyway. But that being said, I've heard it lasting longer. I've heard claims now lasting into May and June, maybe even going into August. Hopefully, it doesn't. I really hope this thing burns out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Also, Trump wants to do the stimulus package. If you have not heard about it, he's trying to give money. If you're I'm assuming he's doing it to taxpayers. He's doing it to households, to adults and children. I'm assuming he's doing it based on your tax return. He's going to be doing one supposedly, again quotes, air quotes, in 2 weeks. If you're an adult, you're going to get $1,000 check as a stimulus payment to help boost the economy. If you're a child, I'm assuming under the age of 18, I would guess. I don't know what they define as a child. You get 500, and that goes to of course, the head of household. Luckily, myself and my girl have two different incomes, and we file our taxes separately. So she would get a check, and I would get a check. So it's nice to do that. So keep your eyes open on that, Vincent. If you're working, if you're a taxpayer, you might be getting a check in the mail shortly. I'm assuming that's how they're going to disperse it, since it's a direct deposit. If it's a direct deposit, that would lead me to believe they're using your taxes, or what you made your tax payment from, at least for this year, is what I'm assuming they're using as their means of delivery. That's how I would assume they would do it, as opposed to send a normal check. Direct deposit is almost, I would say, is much quicker. You don't have to worry about paper. It's just a wire transfer. It's much faster to deliver something like that than it is to mail a physical hard copy check out to somebody. And more importantly, if you try to mail a check out to somebody during a time during the coronavirus lockdown, you may or may not be able to cash that check. Where will you go to cash it? If banks are closed, do you go to Walmart? Do you go to a check cashing store if you can do that? Um, yeah. I guess you work for the post office, Vincent. I assume. If you said that if they're cutting hours, I would assume that's what you mean. Yeah, so especially the limited schedule now that people are working, that takes a big hit now. Um, and I think they even mentioned a third stimulus, because they're going to do it in two different deliveries. First one's supposed to be within 2 weeks, somewhere in the I think in the mid-April. That's what I've heard. Excuse me. Frog in my throat. The next one, they'll be doing another one if this keeps going for another 6 weeks. It's sometime in May. An identical check would be dispersed. If it goes past that, anyone who I think has been hit by, let's say, their business being closed, usually I refer to this as, let's say, small business owners. That you're out of work now, you're not getting paid by a company, you get a third identical payment delivered to you. This is something like a $1 trillion stimulus package from what I've heard that they're doing right now. So keep your eyes open for that. Check the news. Check any type of reliable news medium. I've been looking at a lot of stuff like Wall Street Journal, CNN. We'll talk about this. You don't have to take my word for it. Do your research. That's what I've been seeing and hearing about. Just wanted to, again, tell you guys about it. As far as, again, keep safe. Do standard smart things. Wash your hands. If you can find hand sanitizer, get it. If you can't, you can make your own hand sanitizer. I've made bunches of it now. It's not difficult. You basically need a few key components if you need to make it. Very, very easy to make your own hand sanitizer. Take notes here. You would need, of course, something higher grade than 50% alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol, I would go more like along 60 to 70%. The higher grain, the better. You need some type of way to mix, or you need some type of catalyst to it. Usually it's like glycerin, or you can use stuff like aloe. Aloe gel would work. Stuff you'd find, let's say, after, like sunburn. Let's say a lot of like sunburn green aloe you would normally put on. That will work as a medium for it. You would do 1/3 cup of aloe to 2/3 cups of alcohol. You need a binding agent. Usually you'd use something like tea tree oil, or you could use you would use I use tea tree oil and vitamin E mineral oil, just like about 8 to 10 drops of each of that, and then you want to put a scent in, a fragrance, to basically kind of push down the alcohol smell. I use stuff like peppermint, lavender. You can use any number of of smells in oil and oil-based droplets. Again, 8 to 10 drops. Get a pump bottle if you have an old Purell bottle. Clean that out and you reuse that. You can make a ton of this stuff. It works just as well as not as good as Purell. Will it be exactly like Purell? No. They go through much quality assurance testing. They have the formulation down to a science. It will feel a little bit weird. It might even dry a little sticky, but it will work. It will work. If you can't get something that has antibacterial soap, that's what you should use. But you can use stuff like hand sanitizer. You can create your own. If you can find the products, check your local CVS, your local Walgreens. If you notice, that's why if you look at your shelves, like at your local Walgreens, local Walmarts, as far as, especially the paper products, you can't find. But if you look, you'll notice there's no isopropyl alcohol. You notice there's probably no aloe vera gel or no glycerin. Glycerin is also a form you can use to make an explosive. That's why it's very, very weird trying to use glycerin. But that's, I think they probably use glycerin inside Purell or a lower grade of glycerin to give it that smoothness texture that you see for, let's say, Purell hand sanitizer. That stuff is like almost like gold right now. We picked up a 12-pack of isopropyl alcohol, 70 proof, for about $25 on eBay. So you can find this stuff out there. Price shop it around online. If you're looking to get this product, you absolutely can still get it. If you want to make it yourself, again, it's not that difficult. Again, 1/3 cup of your aloe or glycerin, 2/3 cups of isopropyl alcohol, of whatever grain you're using, 8 to 10 drops of your mineral oil, mineral E vitamin oil, tea tree oil, and a scent to go with it to kind of mask or kind of push down that smell of isopropyl alcohol. You can make this stuff. It's not that difficult. It took me, I made 2 batches of it in under 5 to 10 minutes. It's not difficult to make like 2 8-ounce bottles of it. We have enough stuff to probably last close to a year of product that we'll probably need to get more aloe vera gel because you go through a lot of that. But the isopropyl alcohol, 1 bottle of 8 ounces, like this big, right here, about that big, I made it about almost 2 weeks ago. I've used maybe that much of it. Because you don't need a whole lot to cover your hands. But I do recommend before you do anything, get antibacterial soap. In a pinch, use hand sanitizer if you have to. That's about it tonight, guys. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream. I do apologize for the latency that happened. It picked up a couple times during the stream. It did work its way out. I do again apologize for it. I want to thank everybody who watches the stream. Vincent Du Bois, thank you for joining me into the stream tonight. Hopefully you like the... You too, my friend. Take care. Hopefully you guys like the little countdown that sends to you guys. One last thing before I cut off is if you've not been getting email alerts, it's affecting a lot of people on YouTube. It happens to even the big name YouTubers having this problem. Just make sure that you have the bell icon selected and the checkbox to receive email alerts. I know people are getting them late. That's not me. That's YouTube. It's when they're deploying these emails, they're not going out when there should be. I'm getting, let's say, people who I normally subscribe to. I even subscribe to myself, so I can see when the email blasts go out. I can tell when they go. I've seen ones that go late. I've seen ones that take a day to show up. That's, again, not me. That's not me doing that. That is YouTube. Again, I want to thank everybody who watches this stream. Please stay safe. Hopefully, some of this information is entertainment to you, is entertaining. Hopefully, it makes sense. If you want to make your own hand sanitizer, you can absolutely do this. Again, I want to thank everybody who watches my stream. Please stay healthy. Please stay safe. And with that, we're going to cut the stream in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe. Take care, guys. And bye-bye.